The Crucible, written by Arthur Miller, portrays the real events that occurred during the late 1600s, known as the Salem witch trials. Arthur Miller's novel follows the multiple trials in court held of accused witchcraft users. The big main trial being John Proctor, Elizabeth Proctor, and the accuser Abigail after an incident in the forest. As mentioned, these trials and cases were taking place in Salem, Massachusetts in 1692. The people were Puritans, meaning that their thoughts and decision-making were heavily influenced by their religion. In The Lottery, written by Shirley Jackson, seems very calm and friendly in the beginning of the story, once it reaches the end. The lottery system's reason was unknown until the end of the short story, which was used to ensure this rural community's continued well-being. The victim of this lottery was a woman by the name of Mrs. Hutchinson, who was stoned by her community when she was drawn with the black dot. Both texts share this common theme of dangers of following tradition, because in the Crucible, the morals that the people followed for being Puritans disallowed the accused to be given a fair trial. They were immediately assumed that they were lying, or in other cases using magic, and were ignored in cases. In The Lottery, the people in this short story did not have a reason to commit this quote-unquote sacrifice. The community are to face a literal annual execution just to maintain a quote-unquote well-being. This results in the unfortunate death of one of their victims, Mrs. Hutchinson, at the very end when she was drawn, with the black dot on one of the lottery tickets that she'd draw.
One character that follows the theme of blindly following tradition is Old Man Warner from the short story The Lottery. He has been following this tradition of doing a lottery, and whoever draws a black dot on a white card is killed. Old Man Warner supports this tradition because he has been participating for as long as he could remember and is also the oldest man in the town. He does not want to change their tradition because Old Man Warner has been living with this tradition all his life, and he believes that if this tradition stopped, then it will lead to a disaster. During the short story, Old Man Warner yells many things which show what he thinks of the lottery and of those who don't want to participate. Old Man Warner portrays this theme of blindly following tradition because with him encouraging everyone to follow their tradition, it results in the death of an innocent woman.
The second character that helps portray the theme of the dangers of blindly following tradition is none other than Elizabeth Proctor from Arthur Miller's novel, The Crucible. She was one of the accused witches that the novel based their trials around. She was accused of witchcraft by her own house servant, Abigail, who just accused her to get to her husband, John Proctor. She also demonstrates the consequence of blindly following tradition. She was killed without reason and not enough evidence to justify her being guilty. The people in the Crucible follow their tradition of heavily following the fundamentals of their religion, Puritanism. They heavily follow what is right and what is wrong, and if there was something to be wrong, the accused would not be given a fair trial because they would just be assumed to be lying because a witch would do so, leading to her, Elizabeth Proctor, being sentenced to her unfortunate death once conceiving her child, as she was pregnant, and the Puritan people that believed that she was spared until the time being because it was right for them.
Tradition is present in both the lottery and the Crucible. The lottery has a tradition where people draw white cards from the box, and one of these cards will have a black dot on it. If they draw this black dot, the other people in the town will throw rocks at them, which leads to their death. The Crucible has people following their religion, Puritanism. The theme of dangers in blindly following tradition is present in the Crucible when Elizabeth Proctor and many other people are sent into trial when they are accused of witchcraft and or worshiping the devil. Because of the people in Salem, Massachusetts, blindly following their religion without question, people do not get a fair trial. After having an unfair trial, the people who are guilty of witchcraft and worshiping the devil are hung while the rest of the people cheer joyfully and watch. The hanging of many people is a direct consequence of the people in Massachusetts not questioning anything related to their religion. In the lottery, when everyone blindly follows their tradition, a woman is killed. This woman was killed because of bad luck and nothing more. She did nothing wrong and is innocent, but because tradition is being blindly followed, she was killed for no reason. And because many people don't know what life would be like without the lottery, they blindly follow this tradition that's been passed down by generation. They don't try to end this tradition either. With the deaths of characters in both the lottery and the crucible, they both portray the theme of dangers in blindly following tradition. Tradition is a part of everyone's life. Although some positive things can come out of tradition, there could be negatives, and those negative effects should not be ignored.